So we're going to quickly revisit the opposite of a vector, that idea. So here in green we have vector C. My pen. There we go. So here in green we have vector C, and vector C has a couple different ways you can write it, of course. One way is in its component form, which is 2 is its x component, and positive 13 is its y. And the other way to write it is that it would be 13.15 at an angle of 81.3 degrees. And that means that this length from here to here is 13.15, and that this angle from here to here is 81.3. Meanwhile, we'll write it down here. We have the purple one, which is vector, I believe, L. And it has components of positive 9x and negative 9y, which gives it a magnitude angle form of 12.7 at an angle of 315 degrees. That means this angle from here all the way to there is 315, or a reference angle of 45. 12.7 represents the length from here to the tip of it. Now, what we're interested in is their opposites. Vectors that are the same magnitude but point in the exact opposite direction. So one way of doing this is to either add or subtract 180, because facing the other way is 180. So I can take, in this case, I would add 180. And the opposite of vector C is going to be, and I'll do this on a calculator, 81.3 plus 180. And that's going to be, so the opposite is going to be 13.15, same magnitude, but it's going to be at 261.3 degrees, which would be down that way, once I get it in position. Whoops. That's going to be trickier than I thought. Had it. No. 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 How many physics teachers does it take to do this? I think it's probably best if I just get rid of that one and try it again. I think you probably thought that a while ago. Better. Something like that. Now, a much easier way to do that, however, would be to just switch the opposite of this vector, is to just switch the signs on the components. If you have it in component form, it's much easier just to say the opposite of that vector is going to be negative 2x, in this case, negative 13y. Switch their signs. Since these were both positive, I made them switch their signs, made them both negative. Notice that puts it in the third quadrant over here. In the case of L, you wouldn't add 180 necessarily. I mean, not that it would be wrong, but it would be better to subtract 180 since it's over 180. So you could go and do 315 minus 180 and get 135. And that would be back here. Same magnitude. Opposite is going to be 12.7 at 135 degrees. Or, if it's in component form, the opposite of that L vector is going to be negative 9x, positive 9y. Notice we switch the signs. So instead of going positive, negative, the opposite goes negative, positive, and ends up at 180 degrees opposite. Keep that in mind, because when we start doing some things here in a minute, your next video, I think, or so, this is actually going to be the easier way to do it. It's just by switching the signs in the component form. What you don't want to do is do both. So if you decide you're going to get the opposite by switching the signs, good. When you're done, don't add or subtract 180. If you choose not to switch the signs, then when you're done, add or subtract 180. But don't do both, because then you're just going to end up right back where you started from.